SPY made a new 52-week high. How about that? All right, so if we look here, we can see this line roughly here has been broken by today. All right, so new 52-week high, but we didn't make an actual all-time high. All-time high would have to come back and break that this time point here, which is around the week of January 1st of 2022. So it's the market is trying to find that strength, bouncing right off that 200 EMA, right? I mean, wow. But anyway, so that's the weekly on the SPY. What I traded today was I actually traded the 15-second time frame, and I made a lot of trades today. I'm trading on the simulation account, so don't go getting all excited. But so where is my overall? Yeah, so I would have been up $700. I mean, not a huge day. And this is wrong, right? I took one or two trades. Maybe two trades, but I just did on calls for 461 0 DTE. And again, Tradestation is messed up, whereas you'll put in that order. Let's see if it'll. 61. It should be putting. Let me see. Let's try this. So it'll put in that order, but then when I get out, instead of getting me out at the right place, it'll actually get me out way above where I said to get me out, and so it makes it look like I had a huge win when I didn't. I may have had a $500 win, and it made it look like I had like a $3,000 win. Is this all today? Yeah. Okay. All right, so we would have been back here somewhere. I just took that one trade, right? So here I took this little pullback to this general area here. Okay, took that entry, got out here. All right, but it's saying that I got out way up here. Okay. All right, so let's move back to the SPY. And like I said, I won't go over everything that I did today because it was really a mess. And what I should have did was just waited, stayed out of the market, either stayed out of the market altogether or just stayed out until things kind of leveled out. I didn't. I tried to find my trades. So what I ended up doing was getting in during all this chopping here. And like I said, I mean, I was still up, right? So I was still up, but it wasn't that clean. And then in this range in here, I think I was doing okay through here, and then I did okay maybe through here, and then as it started really selling off, then I started losing money, right? So, and those were some of the last trades, and I said, you know what, forget it. Let's just leave it alone. Let's see. So here I was still doing okay, right? So got in here, got out up here. I mean, I was knocking a bunch of them out the park. That was 11:30, and then where did I stop trading? Yep, got in. Let's see. Let me take a look at this one. Got in here. I guess I thought I was going to continue, so I got in here, and then I ended up getting out here, right? So that was poor. That was way too high. And this is on the tick chart. Come down here, got in here, added here, got out here, so that was for the win. Here I decided to short, so I went from here, and I guess I shorted down to here. So just for a few cents. Then I got in here and stopped out down here. So I really started trading sloppy. I was just really starting to overtrade. But I mean, I think that's okay. And part of my maturation like I said, overall I was up. Now I just need to kind of fine tune what I'm doing. But in hindsight is great, isn't it? Don't we all love hindsight? But in hindsight, I should have just not got in altogether. And then this is what I saw in hindsight. So when I see that chop like that, what I should do is come back here, and instead of working this chop, go to, that's the 1 minute time frame, go to the 2 minute time frame. See if you still see that chop. I hate when it does this. All right, so the 2 minute time frame. Okay, 2 minute time frame still looks a little choppy, quite choppy, and even choppy through here. It's not smooth, boom, boom, boom type of thing. So then you can go to the 3 minute time frame. And what I ultimately found was, I think like on the 10 minute time frame, you could see the semblance of something like really happening. Plus, I'll show you one other thing as well. Maybe there's a 15 minute time frame. Yeah, it's either the 10 minute or the 15 minute time frame. All right, and what I ended up doing was on the properties, taking out the pre and post, just the regular session, and okay. And then so you take out those after hours, and it looks like this, right? So when you take out the after hours, now remember this here, today is the 11th, so this is all today. So if you take out the after hours, you can see here that it's still generally in an uptrend kind of fashion, right? Man, and now that I drew that, I'm like, yeah, of course, Eric. I don't know what happened on this day, but you can see that it's in a general uptrend. And not only that, but the chart really just kind of continued through that upward channel. So this is today, this is the 11th. So what I ended up seeing was this guy here. So the top here, the close of that through this range, we'll call that the zone. And so the price moved up the end of Friday, dropped down. Okay, and then today it opened lower. So it did open low, which is a little bit concerning. Okay, but it opened lower and then it moved up. Got a nice wick, still rejecting the bottoms, still rejecting the lows, so that's a good sign. But it's so choppy, all these wicks. That's why you're like, do I trade? Do I not trade? It's so, all right, so it moves up, rejects the bottom, moves up, now it moves over. Now it creates a new high, which is important, makes a new high. And then as it comes down, now, even though it makes a new high, it doesn't set back down on this level. It chops right back through that level and now finds the base back at this this previous high or this previous close in this region up here. Okay, and then you got the tweezer bottom or the tweezer top here as well, so you could draw it through there. And then that just creates that whole zone that was just rejected and chopped and rejected and chopped. And then ultimately it pushed away from that, made a new high. And when it made that new high there, what did it do? It was like, I don't know. In this range of making this new high, it actually had a nice rejection to the downside. And that rejection to the downside rejected what? Rejected this zone. So that seems very valid. And then it continued to move up. So, it's still hard to tell what to have traded here, but I think it would have not been a bad idea to be long bias once you looked at the overall picture, that it is moving up, it's ascending, and then at least wait until this candle here will be break into a new high. And then as we look for because anytime we break into a new high, you want to look at the retracement. You want to see where it comes back down to. You want to see, is it going to reject a base, or just kind of respect a pullback? And with all these long wicks, we would say, yeah, it probably is. And then at least on this candle here, it'll probably be the time you might want to start entering, right? So it will be something like this. Okay, so the stock moved up, it opened lower, but moved up, created a new high, came back down, rejected this area here, which is significant because that was the high, or at least the morning high of the day. But that was a significant structural point, if you will. Some people call it external structure, swing highs, pivot highs, that kind of thing. But it respected that zone with multiple wicks. And then once that descending trend line was broken, now we have this first bullish candle that has like no wicks. I mean, it's just a solid move up. Okay, and you could either took that or took this, and then set this as your stop loss. But this was an interesting day, and like I said, I guess I did okay. I've done better, but you know, we do the best we can. This is not a perfect sport. I do consider it a sport. Okay. Not much to say about the bids or the asks in this day. Let's see, this was 9:35. I wish I had the 15-second time frame saved with the bids and the asks, but the bids and the asks are all roughly kind of doing the same thing. You had a little spike here, but it's not way out of the norm of the rest of them. This one is pretty high, the norm of the rest of them. That's a 20,000 bid. At the 20,000 bid, that is this area. What happened there? That's the question. What happened? 20,000 bid. Okay, well, 20,000 bid. Maybe not a lot happened, but here we have 30,000 bids, and right after that we had this market volatility and algorithmic kind of a move or posturing. And after that we got the sell down, and that sell down was the last bearish move before it started moving up. So that was, yeah, and these are the wildest things that I see. I mean, it's like seeing wild horses running on the beach. These wild spikes are crazy to see, and then, you know, high amounts of bid or ask. That happened roughly at 11:05. Okay, so let's see what happened at 11:05. The chart is acting wonky on me. What's going on with my scaling? Always the scaling. Okay, 11:05 we said. 11:05 is back here. 11:05 is right here. Okay, so 11:05 is in this territory here, which was the height of the that started the sell-off, I guess, right? So I think I'm going to make a mental note. I think when I see something wild like that, what I'm going to do is plan to take the consider that as the area to buy above, right? Because that means that this is a strong area of sales. So buy above this, right? So consider this to be bearish until bearish, nope, bearish, nope, bearish until it gets back above this range. Something like that. And I mean, we had a nice candle down here to stop the downward progression, but the very next largest candle that we saw, which is typical of price action too, but you know, for this breakout to get the momentum to get through the breakout, we had this strong bullish candle here. But I mean, it's also right in that range of that crazy volatility that we just saw. All right, so I think there was that kind of volatility happened one other place on the chart later in the day. But, you know, this was all in the bullish move up. So we have some of that happening here right at 1 o'clock, right? So right at 1 o'clock, we have that crazy volatility. And and then we had it again at 327, 1 o'clock and 327. Let's see what happened there. 1 o'clock and 327, and then 350. 1 o'clock, 327, and 350. O'clock. Oh, well, 1 o'clock is right when it broke out of that range. Okay, so that makes sense. All right, so we had it start here, and in order to get back through this, you have to fight fire with fire, right? So in order to get back through this range, we needed that to happen again. Okay, so we had it at 1 o'clock. What did we say? 327 and 350? 327. Been this range in here, 327 and 350. Well, of course at 350 we're going to have something crazy going on. All right, but cool, because that 350 range, that was the last push up. Okay, so that's good to know. And the one over here happened at the height of a move. This was a bullish move up. We had that volatility and it dropped it. Here we're moving up. We are starting to move bullish, but it wasn't a last leg. It was a trend. So interesting to consider how that could be considered. This here is a narrow, smaller range, internal structure. Trend up, but then it sold off. Okay, well, I guess that would be the same thing, right? Same thing that happened over here, right? We had this crazy volatility, drop, moved up, crazy volatility, and it moved up and away, up and out, and out of mats. If anybody's old enough to remember that app, Adam Ant. Okay. Anyway, and then so here we also had a nice little move up. We had that volatility drop down. Of course, it came up again, but it wasn't until we had that volatility again, roughly the same range, the same price zone, that it then moved up. So maybe that is something to consider with as a potential strategy. I don't know. Let's do this. I'm gonna move this over here. Just copied and pasted that to my tablet. Okay, we're gonna put crazy volatility. Okay, here. Okay. Deal. All right, and then I'm just gonna do a quick screenshot of that 10-minute time frame without the well, I kind of need to get it with the entire week or rest of the chart. Okay, got it. All right, guys. Hope you got something out of it. Yeah, we're always striving to learn more, to be better, to be better. All right, this is Eric. I'm out. Peace.